Good morning. Hopefully this works because the reception at Easton Schmeichel is horrific. I'm now on Nicola's phone and I'm going to give this another wee shot. So I'm in the Radiata Garden Room, which is the Ranich design. So this is the only one that we've got up just now, and she's beautiful. I love her. And I'm really excited about the other three that are going up next week or the week after. We start making them next week anyway. So this is our brand new range for 2024, and it's our answer to those of you who are looking for a garden space that is on the smaller side. And because these buildings are specifically under 12 metres squared, it means that we get to ramp up on the specification and treat them with a little bit of class. So on the outside of a Radiata Garden Room is, of course, the Radiata Thermowood cladding, which is brand new to us and something that we have went to our suppliers, sawmills, and sought advice for, and have had a look at everything to do with Radiata in terms of its performance and how it reacts to the Scottish climate, which is obviously a point of interest for us. And it comes out as on top, incomparable to other things and other materials that we've been thinking about using. It is obviously a lot more expensive than our traditional Scandinavian redwood. It's more expensive than our tannalized wood, and it's more expensive than larch. Now, we were getting our larch from Siberia, which is not a thing we can do, and we don't fully understand or believe in the homegrown Scottish larch. So this Radiata is a fantastic, superior alternative, and it comes from Finland. So it's a place where we know in terms of our timber is that it's going to be slow grown in an environment where it is doing what it's meant to do in order to be able to be that dense timber that we require to last the lifetime. So the Radiata Thermowood is heat treated, so all the moisture elements of the timber are expelled along with the sugar. So if there's no moisture and there's no sugar, there's no place for rot or fungi to grow, which is ideal. It's also straight as a die and almost alien-like when you look at it, the grain of it, the texture of it, the smell of it. It's a sort of treacle. It's really, really beautiful and lovely to work with. So we're chuffed with the cladding. But that's exactly what we opted for. So the next thing we were thinking about was the windows. Now, the windows and the doors for garden rooms are typically UPVC. Now, there's nothing against UPVC. It performs exceptionally well, and we've been using it on our much larger scaled garden rooms, 30 square metres, for a number of years. And it's always been a favoured approach because the lack of consistency in timber casements and the lack of supply and availability in them started to become a real bugbear issue, and people started making them out of this composite laminated timber, and they broke down and they just were unreliable, whereas UPVC just does what it says. And it's a great product, but it is very chunky in profile, it's very big and thick, whereas these buildings are of a smaller, sort of more dainty, classic look. Like it's almost as if it's a sort of brand identity for Gillis and Mackay to have these slimline, streamlined profiles that are nice and clean and neat. So we started to look at aluminium. Now, anybody else knows, but UPVC and aluminium, there's quite a big price difference. So we had to get this right, and we sourced a local firm in Fife to work on a Gillis Mackay profile for us. So back and forth with them, refining the design, and we made it our own in terms of what a Gillis Mackay should look like. And we've got these beautiful aluminium double glazed profiled windows and doors for the Radiata Garden Rooms. Love them. So the windows, the doors, the cladding, all absolute belling. Love it. Now, internally, there has to be a breather cavity for the external wall, and the way in which we've done that is top secret information, because I'm looking at the patent for that in terms of the design, and so yeah, so we're going ahead with that, but we're keeping it under wraps at the moment. And then after that is your insulation and your lining. So tried and tested, been doing it for years. The 50mm foil back rigid board insulation is the insulation that will slot in to the cavity that we have, which is about 70mm deep. And then we have the 16mm bead lining on the inside. So this is what you're seeing right here. Now the bead is a beautiful profile, so it's just like a nice tight V shape in between each board, and it's lovely and straight. And we've chosen to go for a sideboard, which is a quality of redwood. That means there's very little imperfections in terms of pith, shakes, knots, things that you would normally get from either unsorted, and definitely if you're using a grade called fifths. So we went for the highest spec on the lining boards as well, which is the Veed redwood, and it just finishes off the insides beautifully. And we do laminate on the floor, and that is Elka. We've been using Elka for over 10 years now, and it's just really good in terms of how it fits, the uni-click, the way it works, the durability, the waterproofness, everything about Elka is in line with us. So we love Elka, and we offer you 4 different tones of laminate for that, and that finishes off the floor nice. And then it's just a case of thinking about the preparation of these garden rooms. So you need a space, obviously, for them to go in, and you need to think about what kind of base is suitable for them to go on. Now, because we've got this sort of hybrid profile between our really big building control compliant 30 square metre buildings and the sort of standard traditional construction of single skinned, and we've got this sort of hybrid in between where there's 4 layers that they're not as heavy. So that means that the foundations for the under 12 metre squared garden rooms, they can be a slab base, just as you would expect for a shed. And that makes things a lot more manageable and a lot more affordable in terms of preparation. And we have a list of accredited landscapers that we will recommend should you need one, and we will organise and liaise with them in terms of getting the whole project up and running. The other thing is that these are fit obviously to have electrics, and you would be expecting them to. So we work with RC Electrical, who are based in Cooper Angus, and they'll serve our Tayside area, and then further afield we have other contacts that are accredited to Gillis and Mackay. So that means that they're used to working with our buildings, used to working with me as the project manager, and they have an expectancy on how they communicate with you and how they communicate with me, and everybody is all lovely and nice, and everything gets done on time, which is exactly what we wanted to happen. Nice and smooth process, and so you're not having to worry about anything. And yeah, so everything has been thought about. So we're thinking about what you're going to put this building on, how it's going to function for you in terms of all year round use, and how it's going to look aesthetically, banging, and just in general the functionality of it. So we love these garden rooms. The whole concept has come around quickly, but actually this has been years and years of Grant and I deliberating over single-skinned buildings. So we've got a few changes happening for Gillis and Mackay this year, and it is about time. So this specification is our best yet. I'm so proud of it. The other thing to know, and something that I do get asked, is why is it under 12 metres squared? Now the reason why that is that after you go over a certain span, structurally, the specification needs to change, and that is to make sure that it's sound in terms of what it's meant to do and how it's meant to withstand pressures that can be wind, rain, snow, and just longevity in general. So after 12 metres squared, we always would recommend our building control compliance specification, which has a lot more different bits to it. So under 12 metres squared, however, this specification is the dog's bollocks. It is honestly, I'm so proud of it, and I can't wait to get really stuck into the selling of them this year. We've already sold two, the first one before we even had anything up, and the second one is Condrogan style, and it's not even up yet. So once you see it, you'll understand. They're just a stunner. So yeah, this is our Radiata, and they are available to buy now. We have them on our website with a full breakdown of the 4 different designs. We've got Ranich, Vorlich, Duchne, and Condrogan. And you might recognise the names because they're obviously a homage to the discontinued Mark I Gilles Mackay summer houses. The designs are us, and they should live on in a upgraded version. So they're on the website, the prices are there, the details about groundworks, electrics, laminate, guttering, anything that you can consider for these builds. It's all there on the website, and the prices are introductory at the moment. They will most likely go up. So the reason I'm saying that is that there's some factors that I'm still working out in terms of labour time, so that's still, I've been estimating it, but I suspect with most new things that it will take longer. So the introductory price is running up until the 31st of January for sure, and the availability is late March for these. So if you're thinking about the whole project in terms of groundworks and things like that and getting everything set up and organised, we're running to late March. I do know that we're very busy in April with garages and big garden rooms, so the 30 square metre ones. So the diary's a bit sporadic all over the place at the moment. You can get a shed next week, but you can't get a garage until May. So it's all happening. It's a great new start to the new year, and it is a promising time. I am nervous because it's a new thing, but I am very, very confident in the offer that we have here. The comparable in terms of when you go to market and what you see on the market is that if you are looking for the same performance level and the same quality, you're typically paying about 25 grand, whereas you can get the full thing for about 12 from Gilles and Mackay. And that's just down to our engineering, our design, our specification, and knowing what works and what doesn't after many, many years. So that's my first Facebook Live of 2024. Thank you very much for joining me. Still got it. And I'll catch up with you soon. I think I'll do one on the garages next and get back into the swing of things. Cheers!